And now it's time to bring in our next guest and a good friend of yours truly, as well as the income generation, Scott McLean, CEO of McLean Advisory Group in Waretown, New Jersey. Scott also has a new book coming out really soon called The Three Blind Mice, How Today's Financial Planning Process Leads Your Money into a Mousetrap. Scott, thanks for gracing us with your presence and being back on the show.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you for inviting me.
So let's get right to it. The markets, right? Yeah. Since January of 2018, the markets have been volatile. They've gone sideways for 20 months. It seems like big investors have one finger on the trigger waiting for the next tipping point. What are some of the tipping points that you see on the horizon that could cause that next market downturn?
You know, Dave, I see just recently as you listened to Mr. Trump wanting to reduce the interest rates to zero or lower, I guess, to compete. And that's a real big challenge. I also see the people want to make a lot of money. It's almost like putting Jiffy Pop on the oven. You want to make it simple. This is not a simple time. You just don't rub it and heat it and pop up your popcorn. Things could be a big bubble. And that's what I'm concerned about for our clients and people we speak to.
Now, markets are not set it and forget it 100%. But the drop in interest rates, if anything, I think the drop in interest rates could be competitive because it lowers our dollar, which could help our trade balance with any luck competing against China's currency battle. If anything, it makes stocks look more attractive, the market look more attractive. So what do you think when you think that the drop in rates is actually a negative thing for the market? What was going on that you're in your mind that you're projecting out?
Negative part could be we could start seeing banks, because they're not making any money, you're going to start seeing banks charging fees up the wall. We could see that change drastically. Although the good news could be we could refinance our houses for lower, but maybe the thought would be how many people are in that much debt? Maybe the debt will go lower. I don't see the credit card debt going down either. They're different. They could be keeping those rates real high. People are in trouble if they have a lot of debt.
Well, you're right. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. If we get down even near negative interest rates, let alone into negative interest rates, then why do banks want to lend? And if banks don't really want to lend, the economy comes to a screeching halt, the stock market goes down. So normally drops in interest rates are a good thing for the stock market, but it sounds like what you're saying is because rates are already so low that if we drive them down even further, that this time it might be bad.
Yeah, it's a good and bad thing, I guess. It's like you got to get surgery, but you don't want to go through the pain. Well, I think we're going to be going through the pain. We've got to be competitive, like you just said. Europe's doing the same thing. Europe's kicking our butt on the exporting, and the problem is we got to export too. So there's some challenges big time going on.
You think that's why when the Fed lowered rates in June, that this time instead of the market being happy that they got more of the drug they wanted of low interest rates, that instead the stock market dropped on the news of the interest rate cut? Maybe you're onto something. Maybe that's what the stock market was thinking.
Yeah, I totally agree, Dave. I think we're in for a different market, a different climate. Janet Yellen, if you remember just 2016, Janet Yellen and Bernanke both talked about the the low interest rates and or zero interest rates.
15 seconds. What has to happen for the stock market to defy gravity and to stay strong for, let's say, 2 more years?
Wow. I think the first thing is we've got to see real economics come in, or are we really producing or are we not producing? Is our top line growth versus our bottom line growth? What are the manufacturing? Are we shipping goods across or are we not shipping goods? I see perhaps you oversee maybe could other countries take advantage of China?
Sounds like we got to win the trade war too, is what it sounds like you're saying. So, Scott, thanks as usual. I'm sorry to cut you off there. We need to take a commercial break. We'll get you back sometime. We have more time. You stay with us too. We'll be back here with more on the income generation coming up in just a moment.